want to talk today a little bit about grinding through your early real estate career, or maybe even a slump that you're going through. I want to start by saying we all have those moments. I can remember back when I was so broke and I didn't have anything else to do but to succeed in real estate. There was no back door. I didn't have another option. I had to succeed. It wasn't an option. And so I found myself, sleeping in my dad's office, climbing out the back window, walking around the front door like I was just coming to work, showering at the gym. And I had to really grind my way through this thing. I took a part-time job at Marie Callender's. I'll never forget wearing that brown shirt with the little white flower on it, taking people to their tables, trying to earn a few bucks while I was waiting for my first sale or second sale to come in. And it was humiliating, to be honest. But there's nothing wrong with working. There's nothing wrong with having a side job if you need it to get you through these tough times. We've all been there. We've all been there. We've all hit that wall where we weren't making money, things weren't going our way, and really struggling to make it happen. So when I talk to you about this grind in your early years, I'm talking from experience. I'm talking from knowing, being there, been there, showing up to take people to their tables at Marie Callender, bringing them an apple pie. That wasn't my dream job. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a successful real estate agent and broker, but it was a means to an end. Basically, gas for my car so I could drive clients around and show the property. So let's dig into this. Let's dig into how to grind through those early years. I don't really like the word grind, but it is a grind. So let's just face it. Let's accept it and let's get through it. So here we go. First of all, this struggle that you're going to experience, there's no avoiding it. Real estate is a very, very tough job to break into. It requires a ton of work, a ton of effort. It requires financial resources. It requires a commitment like no other, and it requires an entrepreneurial spirit. So as you're going through this, and when you go that 6 to 12 months, sometimes even 2 years without a paycheck, just know that you're building something. Stay focused on the fact that you're starting something from scratch. It's going to happen. You're going to get there if you put in the time and the effort and you commit to doing it without any hesitation, without any second thoughts, and with the full support of your family and friends. All of these factors are critical and key. You got to show up every day, and you don't have a boss, saying show up. So you have to be self-motivated. You have to start each day with a list of things to do that takes you from early in the morning until late in the evening. There really is no downtime for somebody starting a business. There's really no periods of goofing off, relaxing, going to the beach, hitting the movies, whatever. It doesn't work that way. Think of it like this. Think of it like you're in front of a huge boulder and you're pushing on it as hard as you can, and nothing's happening. You just keep pushing. You're straining. You can't let off that boulder and expect it to move. You have to keep pushing. And then finally it's going to shake a little bit. Then it's going to move a little bit. Then you might get it rolling. And then it's going to start rolling at a pace where you're just going to be running in front of it as fast as you can just to keep up. And that's what you're aiming for. But that early period where there's just no movement, nothing's happening, you have to keep pushing. One of the biggest things agents struggle with is rejection. And even worse than that is they don't even get rejected because they have a fear of being rejected. They don't make that call because they don't want to be rejected. So they sit there, they struggle with what to say, who to call, how to do it. They go to all kinds of trainings and everything. The secret about rejection is just get into it and do it. Just make those calls, take the rejection, and then try to figure out what you could do differently, and then do it again. Just keep showing it up, keep failing. Guess what? About after 100 calls, you're going to get a yes. Someone's going to say to you, yeah, come on by and look at the house. I'd love to show it to you. And that's how it's going to happen. But if you don't continue just making those calls, taking the rejection, facing the rejection, you'll never get to that point. It won't happen. And thinking about it and worrying about it doesn't happen either. You're in a business of rejection. It's a lot like acting. Do you know how many parts actors audition for before they actually get one? Sometimes never, sometimes for years until they get their first part. It's not that different in real estate. I think the two practices, the two careers are very similar in that way. So learn to not love rejection, because nobody loves rejection, but learn to power through it. You have to power through it. Expect the drought. Starting off in this business is going to be tough. It's going to be months and months and months without income. So make sure you have the tenacity, make sure you've got the financial resources, whether it's money in the bank, having a part-time job at night. Don't have a part-time job during the day. That's not going to help you. It would have to be a night job. And make sure that you're willing to do it. You're willing to work an 8-hour day and then go to work. You can't work a 3-hour day and then go to work. It's not going to happen. This is not a part-time job. It is not for people that just hope to make a sale here and there. This is a career. It's an entrepreneurial business. It's your own business. It's your own enterprise. So you have to be paying attention and working on it full time. So if you need an extra job, it's in addition to, and most likely at night. And here's the big thing. We're not sprinters. We're marathoners. It's that steady pace that wins the race, not people that shoot in and shoot out. It just doesn't work. You have to have momentum and build momentum and keep the momentum. And this requires a constant and consistent effort, a steady pace, a cadence of prospecting, a cadence of doing open house, a cadence of putting out your marketing, a cadence of calling into your sphere. All of these things is just constant, never ending, always moving forward. And this is how you build your pipeline in your business. One of the traditional ways and most effective ways to build your business is to get into your sphere. You have to, first of all, organize your database. If you want to know who's successful, look at their database. The people with the best database win. And not only that, they communicate with their database in a very, very planned and strategic way with newsletters, market updates, just little Popeyes, reaching out to them, wishing them happy house anniversary, happy marriage anniversary, wishing happy birthday to their children, acknowledging their dogs, heading pet. They stay in a very, very close relationship with their sphere. They constantly are reaching out to their sphere, staying in touch, because you never know when somebody in your sphere is going to think about selling their house or buying a house or doing something in that real estate space. And if you're not top of mind, they might bump into another realtor at an open house, or another realtor might be prospecting them, and boom, that opportunity is lost. But if you stay top of line, they're always going to call you because they're part of your sphere. And they know you're in the business. They want to work with you because they trust you and they like you. So sphere of influence is one of the most powerful places you can focus your energies to build your business. The next big one, especially for you new agents out there, is open houses. Wow, what an opportunity. What other business in the world can you just open up a shop for free, not even have to pay rent, not even need to get a license, not even need to stock it? You're already stocked. The house is your goods. The house is your product. So there's just no reason not to do open houses and to put out signs and to market them and advertise them and get your name everywhere. Hey, I'm having an open house today. What an opportunity. Don't look at it as a chore. Look at it as the greatest opportunity in business. It doesn't exist anywhere else in business. There's nowhere, these brands that do pop-ups spend thousands of dollars to do that. You basically get to do a pop-up for free. Take advantage of that. Don't just do it on Sunday, do it on Saturday. And if you don't have a ton going on, do it every single day of the week. You never know when you're going to catch that commuter coming home from work or going to work that just pops by, stops in, and loves the house and buys it. You have to put yourself in positions of opportunity. Open houses are one of the greatest. You're going to meet people. You're going to make appointments. You're going to visit other people's homes. You're going to take buyers out. Everything is going to happen at an open house if you do them regularly and with some strategy. Another method, door knocking. Door knocking is one of the other great ways to do it. And there's so many ways to do it. If you're not comfortable knocking on doors and introducing yourself, you can still walk neighborhoods. You can walk your dog. You can take your child with you, walk neighborhoods. People are going to stop and talk to you. You're going to see people working in their gardens. You can do drop-bys. You can leave off, market updates and reports. You can leave your cards. There's so many things you can do. But we have so many agents in our company here that do door knocking, and with such great success. And for them, it's not even a chore. It's a therapy. They love getting out. They feel like they're the mayor of the neighborhood. They're not like really pushing hard on being a realtor, trying to get them to sell. They're basically knocking on their door saying, hey, I'm Peter Hernandez with Douglas Elliman. Just walking through the neighborhood. Just wanted to say hi. Hope you're having a great day. You know what I mean? Make it less salesy. Make it more relationship building. Make it like a friendly face, somebody that's just out and about enjoying the day. There's so many ways to skin this cat, but door knocking really makes you visible in a neighborhood. Now, if you're really good on the phone, and let's just say you're an expert at conversation and neuro-linguistic programming and all these things, or even just really comfortable doing phone solicitation, cold calling is absolutely one of the best things you can do. And it's really effective because you can call so many people in a day and you will get a yes, you will get interest. I guarantee it, as long as you're comfortable. Sure, people are going to hang up on you. Sure, people are going to be irritated, but that's on them. That's not you. Don't take it personally. Like when people cold call me, I'm like, you know what? That's really cool. You're doing this, but I don't have any time to talk right now. I'm friendly about it because I respect people that cold call. I think when people call me and they solicit me, I think it's like, wow, that person's really working. And there's a lot of people that feel like that. And then there's the person that's like, I'm on the do not call list. Why, if you're, first of all, don't call people on the do not call list. Do not do that. It's against the law. But these people that get so upset about it, it's like, just hang up if you're upset. No big deal, right? It's not a big deal. But cold calling is so effective, and what a wonderful way. I mean, there was a agent that took a listing, and this is really remarkable. This agent took this listing and basically called everybody they could around the neighborhood and said, I have this listing. And then they found a buyer for that listing. And then they got another buyer for that listing. And then they ended up selling that listing. And then they went back into that same group and said, hey, you know what? Remember I called you on that listing? Well, guess what? I sold it. Now I have all these other buyers that are looking for listings. Do you know anybody who wants to sell? And then they got another listing, and they literally made 2 sales off that one cold calling experience. So it is so effective and so positive if you just bring the right attitude and be friendly. Don't be a jerk. Be nice. If no one wants to talk to you, just wish them well and get off the phone. Another super effective way to build your business is networking groups. Now, there's all kinds of, there's formal networking groups, there's business groups, there's chamber of commerce, there's all kinds of community networks, neighborhoods, all neighborhood watch, all these different things, even using, Nextdoor, using, these new, where the communities are together all online. Use all that stuff effectively. But I always felt that the best networking thing was to build your own. And I built it with my accountant. I built it with my attorney. I built it with my escrow officer. I built it with my title officer. I built it with everybody around me that I was already working with, architects, contractors, builders, everybody. And I referred them business and they referred me business. It wasn't formal, but we knew that we were there for each other and supporting each other, and we're supporting each other's businesses. And I found that to be much more effective than just joining a group. So think about who's already in your network and your sphere, who you're already doing business with and things with, and build a network out of that. I found that to be the most effective. Follow-up systems are so important, and following up is more important than the system, to be honest. If you're really good at following up, you don't need a system, you're gonna follow up anyways. But for people that struggle with following up, systems provide reminders and alerts and everything to keep you on track. And this can be done through elaborate CRMs like Salesforce and HubSpot and all these amazing programs that are designed to remind you about your clients' birthdays, designed to remind you about important dates, to remind you about when you said you were gonna follow up, to remind you all these things. And this is really great. But I'm of the belief of this, and this is kind of controversial in some ways. But if you just even had a big box filled with notes and business cards and stuff like that, and you just went through it regularly and checked in with all those people and notes and all those things, you'd be doing the same thing basically. And the key is to always follow up. Don't be afraid to. I think there's a little fear in that sometimes. I don't want to come off too pushy. Maybe I should wait another week. No. If someone says to me, call me in 60 days, I call them in 3 weeks because they don't really mean 60 days. If someone says, call me back in 30 days, I always call back in 2 weeks, period. Always call sooner because you don't want to call and hear, oh, I'm sorry, I already listed with so-and-so, or I already bought. You don't want to get that message. You want to get there before they make that move. So give them space, but not as much space as they ask for. One of the big things is overcoming challenges. I think, at the end of the day, I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. I mean, I'm telling you what to do, but you already know what to do. You need to open houses. You need to door knock. You need to stay in touch with your sphere. You need to network. All these things. I know you know them. So what is the issue? Between the ears. See, real estate is a mental game. It's all between your ears. If you can't bounce back, if you can't psych yourself up, if you can't convince yourself to pick up the phone and make that call, it's toast. You don't need to know what to do. You need to have the ability and the mindset and the willingness to do it. So resetting is always so important, like bouncing back when you get that gut punch. Bounce back with a vengeance. Bounce back with a desire to prove to the world. Bounce back because here's the thing. Best revenge on anything is winning. And so bouncing back hard and fast is going to make you feel better than anything else you can do. But real estate is between the ears. It's a mental game. So do things that help you keep your mental game sharp. Make sure that you're reading positive things. Make sure you're studying how to have a positive mental attitude. Make sure that you take good care of yourself, that you get rest, that you get sleep. It's amazing how much better you feel after a good night's sleep. Make sure you're eating well and doing all those things because your mental state is so important. Manage it. Watch your thoughts. Stay aware of your thoughts. When you get a negative thought, dismiss it. Change the channel. Imagine it's radio station bad thought, and you're going to go to radio station good thought. Use those kind of mental games and tricks to keep yourself going. Key, protect your mental state. Consistency will always beat intensity. Intensity is like you're good for one day and then you can't do it again. But consistency is putting that hour in every single day, that hour of prospecting every single day. If you do that consistently, you will be a huge success. I tell people starting off, just 5 calls a day. That's it. 5 calls a day, communicating with people, talking to them, seeing if they have a real estate need or something going on in your world or your space that you can help them with. Or maybe it's just even like finding them a plumber, helping them find a roofer, whatever. These are the things that, believe it or not, lead to business. 5 a day, 25 a week, 100 a month. If you do 100 outreaches a month, it's just about impossible that you're not going to find some leads and actually do some business. Consistency over intensity every single time. I do believe in finding a mentor or a coach, somebody that you can talk with, strategize with, and there's an accountability in it. Like, I don't believe anybody can hold me accountable. I think I hold myself accountable. But when I'm in a relationship with a coach, when I'm working with a coach, I have to show up for those meetings. I have to be prepared for those meetings. I have to be thoughtful for them. And then we talk about stuff. And then if I don't do it, then it's on me. That coach is not going to make me do anything. But we've talked about it. We set up a plan. Now it's on me to do it so that when I go back to my next coaching call, I can say I checked off this item, this item, this item, and this item. Not that this coach made me do it. No. I just personally didn't want to show up to the next coaching appointment and not have done it. Now that's the way to be. That's the way to think. Another thing too is shadow top agents. There's always some top agent that you can become friends with. They're really busy though. Respect that. Don't bug them, because top agents, they don't have time for BS. I'm telling you. They get up early in the morning, they work hard till 7 or 8 at night. Their downtime's important to them, their work time's important to them, because they understand one thing, that time is everything. They know you can't afford to waste any time. They understand how important it is to have a strong work ethic and to make sure that you're constantly pushing the pedal to the metal. That's how we succeed in this business. That being said, everyone loves to give it back. Everyone loves to help somebody. So take them to lunch, take them to dinner, befriend them, learn from them. They'll share their secrets with you. Or, if you're a newer agent, find that agent in your new agent training that you think is going to really be successful. The one that doesn't talk the good game, but you can tell they're getting up early, they're working all the way through the day. Study their work ethic. If they have a really strong work ethic, attach at the hip. That's the person you want to attach with. Make sure that you're with people that are just striving and ambitious, hardworking, collaborative, all those things. That's the person you want to attach to. So find that person in your new agent training and together build your careers and work together to make it happen. Staying balanced and healthy is kind of hard when you're first starting off in this business. It's not the easiest thing to do. I can remember gaining 30 pounds and you know what? It had to happen, because I had to get past that. I had to get that big boulder that we were talking about that I'm pushing to try to make it move. I had to make that thing move. And eventually though, when you get your business going really, really well, or if you're just super, super disciplined right off from the start, you can, I think I work just as hard now as I ever did, but I get my workouts in. Make sure you get your workouts in. Make sure you eat well. There's no excuse for eating at McDonald's or eating food that's not healthy. That is absolutely silly, because you can meal prep. There's so many things you can do to eat well. Make sure you eat well, drink lots of water, make sure that you're getting rest, make sure that you're taking care of yourself, and take a little time off every week, whether it's a half a day or one full day, depending on how hard you work the other 6. Make sure you do that, because balance is key and critical. This is a lifetime business. I don't know anybody that retires. It's kind of like the mafia. Once you're in the real estate business and you're in the real estate space, there's no getting out. I don't know why that is, but think of anybody in real estate that's retired, and you may think of one person, if even one. Routine. Let's talk about routine a little bit. I think success is in the routine. Routine is so important. It's that wash, rinse, and repeat. It's not doing something different every single day, or not being consistent with what you do every single day. That just doesn't work. You have to do those things that creates results, and you have to do them over and over and over again, even if you're not getting the results. It's like in sports, they block, they tackle, they do push-ups, they run laps. You know what I mean? This is where the game is won, and And then when they hit the field, they're prepared. It's like acting. They work on their scripts. You know what I mean? They work on their breathing. They work on their posture. They work on everything that makes you a great actor. Then when they hit the stage, they're on. It comes natural. It's like music. They do all their finger exercises, like playing a guitar, go through your scales, work on your chords, work on these different things. Then when you hit the stage, you're ready to fire it on and turn it on. Same as real estate. You do your prospecting, you do your script practice, you work on your objections, you work on your presentations, your open houses, you work on your cold calling, you work on everything all the time so that when it's game time, you're on. When you're representing your client's listing and that buyer walks in, you're on. When you're representing that buyer's offer and you're presenting it, you're on. You want to be prepared, and so consistency is in the routine, and stick to the routine. Make sure it's a good routine. If you need to run it by someone, run it by somebody, but stick to it. Everybody needs support systems. We talked about accountability partners. They are great to have. I think it's really fun to have an accountability partner. It didn't work for me, but it works for some. If I can't hold myself accountable, I'm toast. You know, I'm the one that has to get up every single morning. I'm the one that has to work all day long. I'm the one that has to make those tough calls. I'm the one that has to do all those difficult assignments. I have to do everything. No one does it for me. You know, if you need someone else to tell you to do that, it may not be the right business for you. But if you have a buddy that you love working with and you hold each other accountable and you're constantly doing it and it's working, that's great. But have a backup plan, because if that buddy moves or something happens and they get out of the business or whatever, what are you going to do then? So make sure that you always are good at holding yourself accountable. Brokerage office support is so underappreciated. You know, there's so much great stuff that's learned at sales meetings, you know, at property reviews, at coffee talks and coachings and different things that your office and your brokerage put on for you. I can tell you at Douglas Elliman, we do so much good coaching, so many good calls. And we are teaching the business from every single angle, from the legal to the sales skills to the branding and marketing and building, you know, your business. So take advantage of these things. And then the other side of learning in your office and learning from your management and learning from the trainers and coaches in your company is that you can also be networking with agents and putting deals together and learning about what's for sale and what people are working on. And you have a buyer for this and they're going to be listing that, boom, sale. So these are the things that happen when you go to the office and you work your support system. Be nice to your staff, treat them well, because they're the same ones that are helping you input your listings, they're the same ones that are helping you with your real estate closings, with your escrow officer, with your title rep, with all these people. Take care of them, send them goodies, feed them cookies, do everything you can. They work so hard for you. Make them part of your team and make sure that they're there for you when you need them. Another huge one is family buy-in. Sometimes when the money's not coming in, you may not be getting the support you need from your family. I mean, sometimes they might even be saying things like, hey, Peter, you know, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you should get a job. Maybe you should get a paycheck. Maybe you should be doing something that's going to bring in constant cash flow. You know, this makes it really hard for you as an agent to succeed because you're not getting the support from your family and friends. I had an agent one time that was not getting support from their spouse. So I literally had to write a letter to that spouse. And I wrote a letter saying, you are not helping. You have to support, you have to encourage, you have to motivate your spouse. They're right on the brink of making it. Every time you tell them to quit is not helping. And you know what? That spouse later called me and thanked me so much because they didn't realize what they were doing. But if you don't get the support and encouragement from those around you, it makes it extremely difficult to succeed in this business. You know, vision and longevity in this business, I think, is what keeps us excited and interested. When you have a really, really strong vision and you have a really strong why, you're going to stay motivated and interested in doing this business, and you're going to be building something way beyond the next sale. It's going to be about, I don't know, your brand. It's going to be about your service. It's going to be about that niche you're building, that special thing you bring to the marketplace, why people should work with you. And I always found that more exciting even than sales. I liked working on the business as much as I liked making a sale. It was so much fun to see something grow, to be adding team members, to be doing this and that and building my market share and building my brand to where I couldn't walk anywhere without somebody saying to me, hey, what happened to that house you had for sale? Did you ever get a buyer for it? I mean, it was just everywhere. I mean, it was a brand and people knew about it. And that was so exciting for me. Visions are something that you have to think about and plan. And whether it's a vision board or whether it's mapping, or whether it's, sitting quietly and meditating upon it and then putting it down on paper, having a vision of what you want to do in the real estate space and be so clear and precise about it that you could just see it and believe it. That's when it happens. And your why is what's going to drive it. Like, why are you doing this? Why aren't you just doing a salaried job? It's so much easier. What's driving you? What's motivating you personally to be a real estate entrepreneur, to be a real estate broker, especially in some of the most competitive marketplaces in the world? Why is it that you're doing it? Super important to answer that question. And stay adaptable. You know what I mean? Things change a little bit, and I don't think the fundamentals ever change. The basics never change. The prospecting, the way we do lead generation, the way we build our business, it doesn't change in activity, but it changes in style and nuance. Like, there are adjustments and adaptations through technology and different things that make it different, even though it's the same. Like, think of it this way, like maybe you used to do print ads and now you're doing social media ads. There's a correlation there. It's just a different delivery system. So these are the ways to think about the business, is adapting to that. If interest rates go up, how do you adapt to your business? If market share or inventory is down, what do you do then to keep your business rolling? If inventory is growing and expanding, how do you adapt your business in those circumstances? Being thoughtful, looking for the opportunity, not the problem. And this is one of the biggest issues I have with agents, is they always go, the sky is falling. They always go into despair. They always go into desolation. And this is so interesting to me, because that is not the mindset of a successful salesperson. A successful salesperson goes, oh, interest rates are going up. Here's my opportunity. Oh, interest rates are going down. This is what I'm going to do. You have to focus yourself on where is the opportunity in every situation. In recessions, in expanding markets, in inflation, in deflation, every economic condition, every social, political condition, everything, there's always an opportunity. Find it. All right, so is this the right business for you? And I've got some questions to ask you, because I think this is key and critical. Ask yourself this: am I okay with a commission-only job? Or do I need the security of a paycheck? I can tell you it's different for everybody. For some reason, I loved the idea that it was commission-only. I loved the idea that it was up to me. But that's not for everyone. Question 1, are you a commission or a salary person? The next question to ask: can you handle rejection? Do you handle it well, or is it going to crush you? And don't look at it as one being better than the other. It's like commissions versus salary. They're both great jobs. For people that can't handle rejection, you might be more the artist type. You might be somebody that's more, sensitive. And if that's the case, it's okay, because your sensitivity should be played out in different spaces and different careers. But rejection's going to happen. You've got to deal with it. The next one: can you self-motivate? Do you need somebody like an employer to tell you what to do? Or can you get yourself up every morning early, have a routine, stick to the routine no matter what, follow through, follow up, do the things you need to do? Or do you need somebody to direct you on what to do? Again, don't label one as good or bad. Just recognize where you are and who you are. Because every leader needs a follower, and every follower needs a leader. And if we don't have people that execute plans, leaders can't exist. So if you're a person that executes, maybe you need to be in a salaried job. But if you're someone that likes to make things happen and has ideas, then this is the right business for you. And next, are you prepared to work 6 to 12 months without results, maybe without earning a paycheck? Do you have the stomach for it, number one? Because I think the finance part of it is secondary. It's more the stomach and the mental toughness. If you have those two things, you'll get through any financial issues. But if you don't have that and you don't have the financial resources, it's going to be very, very difficult and you're probably not going to make it. So rather than spend the money and waste the money, think about it. If you got to that end point where you're out of money, you know what I mean? What are you going to do? The person that makes it figures it out and keeps going. The person that doesn't goes back to whatever they were doing. So decide which person you are. It'll save you a lot of heartache. And then make sure you have a strong why. We talked about that, the why. Why are you doing this? Why are you starting up a business? Why are you being an entrepreneur? Why are you doing these things? Are you really committed to it? Or would you rather have a more balanced, relaxed life and go to the beach on weekends? If you're the kind of person that wants your weekends free and you want to socialize and hang out and do fun things and all that, it's probably not you. Because we sacrifice a lot of that to be successful in real estate. We sacrifice almost every single day to get the job done for our clients. So you got to decide what's more important to you, all right? If it's hanging out at the beach, goofing off, you know what? I actually admire that because maybe that's even a better way of living. It could very well be, but you have to decide who you are and what you want to do. And finally, do you view real estate as a long-term career? Or do you think of it as just a side hustle where you can make a few extra bucks? Well, let me just say this once and for all. The side hustle aspect of this game is long gone. It's been long gone for a long time because the real estate transaction has become such an important part of everybody's life that they can't deal with part-timers. They can't deal with people that are half in this business. They have to deal with the pro, somebody that's fully prepared and somebody that really wants to crush it because their retirement's based on it. Their net worth is based on it. Their ability to buy another home's counting on it. You know what I mean? So you can't just come into this business and just make a sale because you think it's fun and it's going to be easy. It doesn't work that way anymore. I think in the old days it used to and it didn't matter as much, but now we're in the millions and 20s of millions and sometimes even hundreds of millions. And even 500,000. These are big numbers. So only if you're going to be a professional enter into this business. So if you're in the business right now and you're struggling, hang in there if you're really committed. If you're really, really doing this and there's nothing else in your life you want to do because you love this so much, just hang in there, keep working, stay with your routine, don't break from your routine, and it'll happen. It'll come to you. The only way you're going to lose in real estate is quitting. I love telling agents new in the business, don't quit before the miracle. Hang in there, just keep doing it. I know it's tough, I know it's scary, but if you're in this business and you know you're going to make it, And so even when it looks really, really dark, pull yourself out of bed, get up, get right back into your routine and keep going. You know what? I'm so glad that I personally committed to the grind. It was a long haul for me. I wasn't super successful until after 10 years in the business. And then it finally clicked. I kind of just got by and struggled for 10 years until I really figured it out, until I really figured out that routine was everything, that work ethic was everything, that having a why was everything, that thinking of myself not as a salesperson, but as a business owner. When all of these things clicked for me, which was around at the 10-year period, wow, the glass ceiling was shattered. And I just enjoyed a career of my life. So hang in there, don't give up, and I'll see you at the winner's table.